Hey everybody, what's up? It's Adrienne again. I'm posting a couple videos back to back because I had trouble earlier and didn't get stuff posted when I wanted to, so I finally got around to doing it. So I just wanted to kind of do a little bit more onto my introduction. That was just kind of to see how it worked, if I was able to upload it with no problems. I'm definitely not tech savvy, so I figured it out and I think I'll be alright from here on out. But just wanted to say really quick, my family's going to be watching these videos. They're all on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast right now. So I'm not going to get into too many details. But if you have anything you want to ask me one-on-one, I put my email on my first post. I'd be more than happy to communicate back and forth, or Facebook me, and we can definitely talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's the biggest reason I'm doing this, is to add to the community, build a better community, and as you see from my name, it takes a village. It truly does take a village to help raise us all, and to get to be the men or women we want to be, we need to work together and share information and help each other out and build each other up and be the amazing, awesome people we were meant to be. So really quick stuff I've seen on Facebook lately, people that are starting their journey, don't know where to start or what to do, and constantly ask, do I really need a therapist? And I understand the frustration in having to convince somebody you don't know that this is how you feel, and that's not what therapy is for. You're not trying to convince them who you really are. It is a check in the box for most doctors who are going to prescribe any form of hormone therapy, that you are mentally sound, because there are people who want to go down this road and it truly isn't how they feel. It's just something they're going to do for whatever, mental illness reason they have. So the therapist is really there to, one, support you through your transition. Make sure you have family and friends that support you, and if you don't, help you to find the support you need, because it doesn't matter how much you know that you want to go down this path. If you don't have somebody supporting you, it can be, even with support, it can be scary and trying. So that's the number one reason to do therapy. And I'm not saying you have to do it forever. Some people see the therapist 2 or 3 times, but I really believe it's the best way to check in with somebody who has no vested interest in you and isn't going to convince you to do one thing or do another. They're just there to help you sort through your own emotions and your own thoughts and come to your own conclusion. They're not trying to force you to think a certain way or do a certain thing. So it's really to your benefit. The second thing is you have to find the right therapist. If you're not comfortable with the person, don't go back. Keep looking. There is somebody out there. I haven't come across somebody who has gotten into the field of therapy to do any harm. Everybody I've come across has been helpful and wonderful. But if you find somebody you're not comfortable with, definitely don't go back to them. Find somebody you're comfortable with and get everything you need to get sorted out. So yeah, therapy is a good place to start. That's pretty much where I started, trying to come to terms with who I was and what steps I needed to take. And it took me a while. I started seeing my therapist in July of 2011. And it's now January 2014, and I get my first shot tomorrow. So it was definitely a long road, but I'm very glad that I went down that road and that I'm where I am today. So, gathering information, there's a whole bunch of information out there. Some of it is helpful, some of it is not. Bottom line, you can ask anybody who's transitioning questions. When it comes to medical stuff, you need to see a doctor. You shouldn't be trying to figure out how to give yourself testosterone. You shouldn't be trying to get a hold of it yourself and giving yourself your own doses. You need to see a doctor. It's not just about the hormone therapy itself, but it's also making sure that you're physically fine as you transition. Testosterone makes your blood cells larger and could cause complications if you've already got reduced flow through your arteries. So that's something they have to look for. They have to monitor your blood pressure and all that stuff. So you need to be doing it correctly. And I understand financial hardships or living in an area where you absolutely can't find a single doctor, but you really need to do it right and you really need to take care of yourself. The other topic I want to talk about, binding. There are guys I've read online that bind 24/7. They even bind while they're asleep. And while I understand looking at your body and being completely out of sync with it, disgusted by it, disconnected from it, however you feel about it, while I completely understand that, binding is dangerous and you can hurt yourself permanently. You can break ribs. You can cause back pain, spine pain. So you're not supposed to do it for that long of a period. Everywhere I've read it says no greater than 12 hours of binding. Now, is that realistic? Probably not. I work a 12-hour shift, so I'm going to be binding at least 14 hours out of the day, if not more. But you have to be smart about it. Don't bind to completely smash yourself down. Like I said, you want to be safe about it. The reality, if you're a bigger guy, which I'm not a stick figure. I'm pretty big dude, so I'm only gonna get so much out of binding. You're not gonna be able to squash yourself to flat as a pancake. So don't try and do it. Don't get something 2 sizes too small. Don't use ace bandages. You're really not supposed to wear 2 or 3 sports bras. That's just as bad as doing an ace bandage. So and again, I know that's also a financial thing, but if you think about it, doing shortcuts now is only going to cause you physical problems later that you are going to have to pay for, and that will be a financial issue when you're having to go see a chiropractor or be on constant pain meds, whatever it is. Definitely shouldn't be sleeping in a binder. That's a little overboard. Okay, sorry about that. My girlfriend came home, so I had to stop and restart. So, the only other thing about starting your transition that I wanted to talk about is support. And I know there's a lot of guys and girls out there that your family wants absolutely nothing to do with you, refuses to hear you out, refuses to use the correct pronouns and name, and I can't even imagine what that's like. I was very, very, very fortunate, and my family is super, super supportive. Not to say that they aren't going to mess up and use the wrong name or wrong pronoun. And I do have a couple family members that struggle with it. I think just because it's something they can't even comprehend, but nobody's disowned me or wants nothing to do with me or anything like that. So I can't imagine what that would be like, but there are people that are there for you. You know, if you want to talk, I'm here. Anybody, and any one of these guys that posts a video or that you meet on any of the Facebook groups that have been created, they're here to be supportive and to help you. And you know, the last thing we want to see is people taking their own lives because they feel like, you know, they've got nobody there for them. So definitely, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. Whatever it is, and any help you need, you know, there's charity funds out there, and you know, there's all sorts of stuff. So we are building a good community, and we're getting there. So, and that's one of the things you have to remember. If you were helped in the beginning of your transition, turn around and help somebody else. You know, pay it forward. So yeah, support is a key thing. And if you're watching and you're the spouse, girlfriend, husband, family member of somebody that's transitioning, you know, I think one of the things that was difficult for me to realize in the beginning was that this wasn't just about me, you know, that I had to, even though it's something that I've known for a long time and have been internally struggling with, people around me may have not realized it or known it. So I have to be patient with their process of how they're going to deal with it. So, you know, if somebody knows transitioning and they're not being patient with you, that's something you have to remind them. It's not, you know, you're not being selfish and negating what they're going through, but there is something that everyone around the person that's transitioning goes through, and it's their process, and they have every right to feel how they feel. But bear in mind, if you're transitioning and somebody is being completely negative and disrespectful to who you are, regardless of who it is, that's not something you should tolerate, and it's not something you should have in your life. So build a good foundation of support as you start your journey. And like I said, I get my first shot tomorrow, and it may not seem like I've done very much, if that, you know, testosterone is the first thing, and then surgery, and then changing legal documents, but I truly feel like I've done a lot. I mean, just getting the information and putting myself out there and telling my family, that's a huge part of it. Validating who I am on the inside is almost more important than the physical aspect. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to making what's on the outside match how I feel on the inside, but validating who I am on the inside was, for me, the biggest part. You know, I told my counselor 2 or 3 months ago, I was driving down the road and felt absolute peace, and I was completely shocked by it because I'd never felt that way. I've always had this sense of sadness and depression and yeah, just complete and total sadness, like trapped, you know. And for the first time driving down the road, it hit me, I don't have that feeling anymore. And I told her, you know, I couldn't believe that I haven't even done anything and I don't have that feeling. And she was quick to point out everything I had done, you know, everything I've told you about that I've done. That is a step in the process, and because I'm validating who I am and how I feel, that sadness and constant depression is dissipating. And I'm sure those of you that are on your journey can attest to that it's an absolute wonderful feeling to know that you're working towards being who you're always meant to be. So the last thing I wanted to leave you with is your journey is your journey. Nobody can tell you how to do it. Nobody can judge how you do it. You know, if you weren't 3 years old running around telling your mom, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, and forcing everybody to call you he, you know, by the time you were 7, that's okay, it doesn't matter. If it wasn't something you dealt with till you were 40, that would be okay. Everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own time, everybody has their own way. So don't think that you're any less of a person because you didn't feel exactly the same way somebody else did. You know, you're entitled to your own process and your own feelings. So, you know, don't judge yourself according to others, and don't let others judge yourself according to them either. So, alright, well that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I don't even know how long this took, but peace and love, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.